After the Lord has restored Peter in a personal and highly confidential conversation, the Lord now also restores Peter publicly before his disciples. We are now back at the coal fire again, but at the coal fire of the Lord, where he publicly shows his love and care for Peter. We read John chapter 21, verse 15. So when they had eaten breakfast, Jesus said to Simon Peter, "Simon, son of Jonah, do you love me more than these?" He said to him, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." He said to him, "Feed my lambs." The disciples had gone fishing, but hadn't caught anything all night. At the word of the Lord, they let their nets down on the right side and caught a great deal of fish. Then the Lord invites them to have breakfast with him by the coal fire and asks Peter 3 questions at the end. 3 questions of great depth that reach Peter's heart and conscience. The Lord turns to Peter with the first question and asks him whether he loves him more than the other disciples. With this, the Lord goes back to what Peter said publicly about his love in comparison to the others. He used the Greek word agapao. This word is used in the New Testament especially when God wants to express absolute, unlimited love. So he asked Peter if he loves him fully. Peter replies that he loves the Lord, but used the Greek word phileo, a somewhat weaker expression of love that indicates a more emotional love. That's a love that finds something attractive in its subject. How Peter must have felt, his inability that he had not been able to show this unlimited love when he was tempted. Peter had learned that he couldn't trust himself. Then the Lord asked a second time, "Do you love me?" Now he used the word agapao again, but leaves out the reference to the other disciples. The demands on the love of Peter have become lower. And again, Peter answers with the same words as in the first question and use phileo for love. It is a clear confession by Peter to his Lord. But the Lord goes one step further and asks a third time. He takes the words of the confession of Peter's love, Greek phileo, with which he answered the Lord twice, and now questions his confession. It is not a word of exhortation or reproach, but the third question saddens Peter, and Peter leaves the Lord to judge whether his confession is genuine or not. There is no longer any sense of self-confidence in Peter's love. This is the attitude the Lord desires, and he has achieved his goal with Peter. 3 times Peter had denied the Lord. 3 times the Lord asked Peter about his love and thus publicly restores him. The disciples are thus to know that Peter is again in a right relationship with the Lord and that everything has been cleared up. As additional evidence of full restoration, the Lord gives Peter a task. He should not only be fisherman of men, but also the shepherd of the whole flock, of lambs and sheep, with all shepherd activities. First, to tend them, which makes us think about keeping them away from danger. And secondly, to feed them, which means giving the right nourishment for spiritual health and spiritual well-being. When we look at the wonderful restoring grace of God, we know that this grace is still active for us today. The Lord, in His great unrestricted love, turns to us, restores us, and wants to use us for His work. This fills our heart with thanks and adoration for this unique love.